Hello.
Oh, there you go. I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah.
I hope you can hear her too, because she's going to be talking a lot today. Those of you who are watching YouTube, hello. So we're starting the episode, and this episode is going to be called From Colombia to NYC, and we have Kavi with us because she's from Colombia and she's in NYC. Hi, Kavi.
Hi. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Thank you for agreeing to come.
No, thank you so much for your invitation. It's really cool.
Of course, because we're friends, right? And we talk so much about your journey coming to New York and just generally dealing with everything you dealt with, including like learning the language, meeting new people, and the work, the au pair, itself. It's not an easy job, and like the different families you went through, and every time we talk, I'm so inspired by you and what you're doing. I'm like, I have to have her on my show because it's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is like a huge experience because, do like immigration and just start to learn not just the language, it's like the culture and everything. It's very interesting. I feel like right now I'm just like a different person, even though I still like the same person as well, but I just try to have like my mind very open, like all the time, and like I'm proud of me.
I'm proud of you too, because you came here without English at all, right? At all,
yeah. When I just came here, my English was like hi, bye, and like thank you with the T. It was like I just started to learn like the T is like the. Because the people just say like it's not thank you, it's thank you.
oh I think thank you is good too, like I feel like our accent makes us who we are sometimes.
Yeah,
so thank you is also fine by me.
yeah
But yeah, that's true, because like I feel like the more you're surrounded by native English speakers, like you kind of like grab onto their accent and their way of speaking. I remember when I came to LA, was 2018, I was not able to pronounce girl.
Oh, really?
I couldn't say girl. I don't know why. I was like, I don't know how to do it anymore because now I can say it. But I remember sitting with my friend in a car and we just go like, he's like, girl, and I repeat, I'm like, girl. Wow, it took me so long to learn this word, which,
I know.
Now I'm good.
Yeah, so it's like a experience. Definitely is something huge. And also, you just came here. I mean, when I came here, I didn't have like family or friends or nothing at all.
Yeah, you came completely alone, right?
Completely.
When did you come again?
I came here like almost 2 years because it was in June, in June of 2022.
So it was COVID still?
I don't think so. No.
Wait, 2020? No, it was.
Oh,
no, it ended.
No.
Right?
Actually.
Wait.
No, hold on. Yeah,
when the fuck did COVID end?
I think it was 2021, kinda.
21.
Yes,
22.
like in December of 2000. Hold on.
No, if you came here 2 years ago, COVID was still going on. Because I came here two and a little bit ago, and we still had like masks on. And I remember me and my ex, we got COVID.
Okay, yeah,
I mean, he got COVID. I wasn't. Yeah, so it was. Yeah.
I think. Well,
it was still
I'm
COVID.
not sure. But it was almost 2 years. So
girl.
in June, I'm gonna have 2 years here. So it was interesting because I mean, here in New York City, you can find like a lot of people who speak Spanish, But when I just came here, I went in a place like uptown New York, very like in the north. Close to Canada, actually. I was
upstate
closer.
New York. Upstate New York. Okay.
Upstate New York, and I was very close to Canada. And the cold was too cold, but also I didn't find like people who talk Spanish.
Makes sense.
So, and I remember my first friend. She's from Hungary. So it was like a challenge, for both of us, because I mean, her English was little better than better than mine because my English was literally nothing. So it was like a really nice like a friendship, because she started to teach me a lot of things, like, hey, this is the mobile, a cell phone or whatever. And I just started to learn a lot. But in the beginning, we didn't talk at all. It was more like contact, like, hey, look at this. So,
just like with your hands, talking with your hands and trying to explain yourself.
Yeah. And in the beginning, I was kind of like embarrassed, and I think it's like the challenge part, like I feel it's not just myself, like for everybody. Like the people just feel like the essence or the things that you are saying just not make sense at all. And sometimes, I still making mistakes, a lot actually.
I make mistakes too, but I love them because I'm like, you know what? If you don't know this word, I just made it up, but you're gonna go and deal with this word because that's a new word now.
No, yeah, definitely. Something that like my advice or something that I just discovered about this journal is like, just do that, just talk. Even if you talk bad, even if it's embarrassed or whatever, when I just started to do that, I just feel like my English just started to, feel better, Yeah. It was so interesting because I don't know why. I just started to learn a lot, just like watching video with help subtitles or just talking with people in a pub or a bar, like a random guy or a random person, like, hey, how are you? Hi, I'm okay.
But that's the best way to learn, and I feel like especially in New York, you can actually go like I talked about it in the last episode. You can walk into a bar and actually be able to have a conversation with a person that's just talking, nothing else, And this is the best way to learn, just talking to people.
Something that was very interesting that I saw, like, I don't know, like months ago, but I was just like, what? It was like a video, like on media, like social media. I don't remember if Instagram or Facebook, whatever. But was a guy who proposed to a girl. And when the people who is doing like the interview, he asked him like, okay, how'd you meet us guys, how'd you find each other? And the girl was talking in Spanish, and she's saying like, I don't talk English, he doesn't talk Spanish, and we are together for like literally like 5 months.
Wow.
And
they still can't communicate?
And the guy asked her like, okay, but how'd you talk each other? And she was like, phone. And the guy was like, yeah, it's weird, but I love her so much. And it was like, oh, that's crazy. It is crazy, but also it's not, it's so interesting.
It's interesting because me personally, because I speak almost 4 languages, I don't think I can date somebody that doesn't speak English and only speaks German, because my German is not that good, But I was always able to communicate with people, even if it's not like my mother language. I was able to establish a connection. But I have friends that when it comes to dating people, they say that they need the person they're with to talk their like mother language, to speak in their mother language, because that's the way they express best themselves.
It's a challenge, know. But you know what? Because one time I was thinking about it, like, okay, I don't know if I'm able to date someone who is not like, even not just my language, my culture, because Colombia is just very open, and the culture here, or like people that I just meet here, maybe it's not that open that I can do that, because my culture. But then I just started like to discover that it's just, if you like someone, the language doesn't matter. If you like somebody, nothing matters. I feel like all the rules are out the window. That's why I think I was thinking about that. Well, it's a different episode that I want to do about like dating in New York, which is basically dating anywhere, but still. But I feel like, how when you date somebody, there are always like excuses of like, oh, I'm a bad texter, or I don't have time, I was so busy, or things like that. And I feel like all of this, like, it's just excuses of like, because if you like somebody, you'll find the time, you'll find the language, you'll find the whatever you need to find. I remember that I met a guy, and he didn't talk Spanish at all, and my English was like nothing. Literally, I was like, hey, hi.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
okay.
you.
Thank you. Please. Thank you, please. That's the only. And even though we're still like talking, because it was like like you feel interested about the other person. And it was like, and then we start to talk more and more and more and more and more and more. And it was like, wow, I didn't thought or think that I'm able to talk in English like this. And for sure, it's the way to learn, And also we're still friends. And I say to him, hey, you just like taught me a lot of things. I mean, I'm so like grateful about that, because I mean, we are very like friends like right now. And it's interesting because I just like learned a lot from him, a lot, and just talking, because he wasn't in a way like, oh, this is how you pronounce that. No, never in that way, And when he didn't understand me because my pronunciation was very bad. I mean, like right now it's kind of better, but before,
I understand you perfectly. I don't know why you always say that. Like, I
know.
Your English is awesome, really.
Oh, thank you so much. But no, I mean, like months ago, I can say my pronunciation was like kind of very like the accent, like very accent. And sometimes he didn't understand, and he was like, trying, like trying. I just saw his face like trying so hard, like. But in the end, I was like, you didn't understand, right? And he was like, mm-mm. And then I said it again, and then he take it, and and then was so interesting because the words I didn't pronounce well, even though he understood me, with the time, because he started to say or think like, oh, is that word, but she pronounced that like this way,
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. It's something that I like it about the differences about language or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes even if it's the same language, every time that I talk about language with people, I remember a story. I lived in LA, and I went out with a guy that lived in Compton. Now, so it wasn't like a date. Not that I don't think it was a date. And anyway, so we were talking, and I speak English, right? But his slang and the way he spoke, I didn't understand shit. I didn't understand anything he was saying. And at a certain point, I was like, nodding and smiling. But then he would ask a question. I'm like, fuck. And then I needed to ask him to, first of all, talk slower. And then I was like, I don't know the words that you're using, because I'm not American. I'm not like, so, and it was English, but he was talking like in a lot of slang that I just didn't understand, because I was like newbie to it, like complete, like I didn't understand anything. So the only words that I did understand was like from the rap songs that I was listening to, that I'm kind of like, I could make the connection. But I needed to ask him. I was like, can you please consider the fact that I'm not American?
That happened to me because, I mean, mostly of the time I've been here in New York. And New York accent is very New Yorker. I don't know how to explain that, but I understand better, like someone from New York. And I think it's because the first time that I arrived here was in New York, And also as an au pair, we have something that the name is host families. And I remember this host family, I remember them, like I loved them a lot. But I remember my host mom, she was from New Jersey, and I understand like really good. I understood everything that she said.
Because the accent is not as thick.
Exactly.
So yeah.
But my host dad, he was, I don't remember from exactly where, but he lived in Seattle for years. Like it's the other side of the country. And sometimes when he talked to me, I was like, which language he is talking? Because I cannot understand. And I remember my face like, oh, what's going on? And he was like, and he talk in Spanish sometimes, or he speak sometimes. And also they were good, but whatever. And sometimes when he saw my face, he was like, okay, I'm going to talk to her in Spanish because... And also, when he talked in Spanish, I didn't understand either, because his accent, and and also a year after that I arrived here, I moved to New Orleans for 2 months.
That's completely different.
Oh my goodness, it was a challenge. The people there, I mean, such a nice people, but they yeah, for sure, their accent is so different than here.
So
but completely.
can you tell me a little bit about, just to, because I know your history, but just like whoever's listening, like, so you came from Colombia 2 years ago on the au pair program, right? Can you talk a little bit about this program and like why you moved around so much, and like what's like, how does that work? And maybe for somebody who's listening and want to try this program, like just how, like, do you recommend it? Is it, just talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, sure. Well, au pair program is a program like, started like a lot of years ago, has a history. Actually, au pair is like a word from France. It's French. And it's like a girl, mostly a girl, but guys, like boys can do that as well, but mostly happen with girls, And the girls or the guy or the au pair just move to live with a host family,
To take care of children, right?
Yeah. So that is like they call it like an exchange, So the exchange is that you can live in their houses and they feed you, they give you like a home, and then you in exchange you take care of their children. So all of this is just like a huge experience, because sometimes it's a really good experience, sometimes it's a really bad experience.
Why is it bad?
It depends about the family, it depends about expectations, it depends about so many things, So if it's someone who is thinking to be an au pair, you have to understand that even though you're gonna come here to live like the, like United States experience,
the American dream,
or something like that, it's more like you come here to work, And also the work is kind of complicated because, take care of children, and also you are not just taking care of them, you live with them,
Yeah.
So you're gonna find moments that you are not working, but the kid wants you. So, it's like so many things. So you have to be conscious about that, it's for sure, it's an experience, but also it's an experience to grow up in a different way, And it's very interesting because it depends about the host family. Sometimes you are lucky, you are find like really good people, sometimes not. And I live this experience. My first host family was a really good host family. The challenge part was because I was taking care of a baby and a girl. She was 3 years old, but the baby, when I arrived, she was 4 months old. So it was very little, I miss her a lot, but the fact is, it's a challenge, It's a huge responsibility taking care of a baby. She was 4 months old, and I think that I did a great job, but at the same time was like a lot because it was 45 hours per week, and the program, the fee to pay for you is per week. So they didn't pay you per hours. I think just like in some states, like too. I think like right now in California and also in Massachusetts, they pay you for hours. But in general, it's per week. And the fee is 197 per week.
And it's very low because they basically, you don't need to rent an apartment, you don't need to buy food, right? So basically, because they're taking care of that part, they basically, but it's still very low, especially with the rates now. Like living in New York, I go to the supermarket, I buy like coffee and cheese, and that's your weekly salary,
exactly. So exactly, it depends of the families, because some families pay you for your personal stuff, but some families not, just food.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, but pads or like, I don't know, deodorant or shampoo or conditioner, that's crazy expensive.
Yeah.
And you have to it's a lot of things, but you something that is really good about the program is you can make like deals with the host families, so you can just talk. But in the beginning, my English, I don't know how I did it, because for the program they asked you to have like a conversational English, and I don't know how I did it, to be honest. But in the end, I just get the host family, the interview, because usually, you choose your host family at the same time, It's not like, oh yeah, just go in here and you don't talk with them. No.
Yeah, because I feel like you need to have some sort of connection to them before. It's not just like throwing you to live in a house with complete strangers that you... I mean, they are complete strangers, but at least you meet them like one or twice, you know?
At least exactly, like, you know who looks, their faces or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, it depends. And also it's like a lot of agencies or like companies, we can say, you know? So it's not just one. So it depends about the agencies too, you know? Sometimes the agencies that making like some rules different, mostly are kind of like the same, but it depends the host family, and it depends your connection with them, you know, because for me works like I'm respectful, they are respectful, and we having good time, you know. That is working for me.
That's important,
you know. But some au pairs, they feel that they really need to feel part of the family, you know. So that it depends. I mean, I'm very independent, so for me I don't like it, you know. I don't like when like a host family asks to be like really, really into the family, you know, like a big sister, because that is another way to think, like, oh, the au pair. But it's, you know, it depends, because some au pairs comes with this dream to be part of a host family and everything, you know, to have like a treatment as part of the family. But in the end, your treatment is as a person who work for them. Yeah. You know, so for sure that can be like kind of frustrated. So it depends that's the reason why I'm talking about expectations, because that is very important when you're talking with the host family. Okay, what is your expectations about me, you know, at the same time, because the host families has expectations too, you know. So yeah, so that is my first experience was a challenge about the baby, was because my host family was very good. I mean, they were so kind with me and everything. I mean, I went with them for 1 year straight. And then when you get 1 year, you can choose to extend to your program. That you just can extend for 2 years. That is the maximum. But like when you get the first year, you can stay with the host family. You can choose if you want to stay with the host family or you want to choose another one, you know. So I just decide to choose another host family, because for a lot of reasons. When also because, well, it's like the baby, you know, she was like 1 year at that moment, but it's still like a lot of hours. So I wanted more like, you know, like less hours, less work, you know. Maybe.
I mean, babies are hard. It's a lot. It's a lot of responsibility.
I mean, I love babies. I really love babies. The baby that I take care, I mean, I miss her. Sometimes I watch in the videos and it's like, oh my God, I really miss her, you know. But
you're not in touch with them at all, right? Like once you finish, it's
you're in
touch?
Yeah, okay. Sometimes we talk, you know. And also, I mean, my friend from Hungary, she talked with their host family like a lot, like every single week. Like, hey, how are you? I mean, she's in Hungary now, you know. But they still like friends because they got like a really, really good connection. So it depends, you know. Really cool. Sometimes it's a really good time, sometimes it's a challenge, but sometimes it's a really bad experience, you know. Because, well, I lived a really bad experience after that.
Yeah, can you tell me about the bad experience? Because I feel like we talked about it a little bit, just me and you, but coming from a different country to a whole new country all by yourself without even like knowing the language, and then you on top of that you have a bad experience and you feel like you don't feel at home, you know. And it's terrible, and I'm sorry you needed to go through that, but like can you tell a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So I just moved to New Orleans. What happened?
What?
Okay, I can hear you. Okay. Now. Yeah, it was something on the line.
If it's disconnecting, just attach it back.
So I just moved to New Orleans. It was a good host family, and they had like a lot of like good things, you know. For example, like a huge house with pool, and the person wanted me to pay like more per week, and I was like very excited, like, oh, what, that's good. And just like 20 hours per week, and I was like, wow. So, I mean, 45 to 20 hours.
Yeah, that's like half the hours for the same pay or even more.
And also it was a single father, and he offered to pay me like the double, you know, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. And then when I just arrived there, was two kids, the two little kids, but the host family got like into a really complicated situation where the mom had just to have like the custody of the kids at all, and I was just working for the single dad. So they just got like a really, really complicated situation, and I was like, what is going on here? Because I just arrived, and the literally next day, that all of that happened, and was just like so many things happened. You know, I mean, my husband went in jail for 1 week, for 1 weekend, and I was in the house alone, and I just arrived. I mean, I just want to say I just arrived there. And you know, I mean, the family was really good. I mean, I didn't receive like a bad treatment or so. No at all. Actually, I remember when the single dad just left the program because, I mean, I didn't have a work. Actually, I stayed in New Orleans. I mean, I'm so grateful because I'm staying in New Orleans for 2 months without working, and like just like enjoying a lot New Orleans. You know, I make like a lot of friends. I mean, for example, here in New York, I just have 2 friends, you and another friend. She's from Colombia, and that's all. But in New Orleans, I made like a 10 friends, you know, in 2 months, you know. And I was like, wow, that's huge. It was amazing, my experience there. I mean, I love like warm weather, so I was so excited. But I mean, even though it's hard because 100 degrees is crazy, but was awesome at the same time. And then I just moved because they just decided to leave the program because I didn't have children to take care of, you know.
Yeah.
And my bad experiences started after that because I just got something that the name is rematch. Rematch is when you start to find a family, another host family, to live, and was the program and everything. But when I just moved to the next host family for the rematch, that's complicated because you just have 2 weeks to decide for a host family. And I was like, wow, you are in a hurry, you know, to choose one host family. And also, if you cannot find a host family, you have to move back to your country. Oh. And I was thinking like, oh my God. I mean, I mean, my experience, I didn't feel like my experience finished there, you know?
Yeah. Did you want to stay in New Orleans?
I don't think so. I mean, I was more like open to find like a good match, you know. Mm-hmm. I was thinking like more, I mean, I did a lot of travel in my first year, so I just wanted to feel comfortable in my second year, you know. So I didn't think about it, you know. I was more thinking like, okay, not more like the place, more like the people, you know.
Yeah.
So I remember that I just find this host family, and I remember that I talked with the host mom. And she was like, oh my God, the sweetest person ever. You know, like, hey, you are going to be so welcome here. We're going to love you so much. And I was like, wow, okay, that's good. But at the same time, I just feel like this is not, I feel like she was like talking too much, you know, too much.
It's like from the too good to be true kind of
thing.
Like, that sounds too good.
I feel like, yeah, you can just see things with actions, not with words, definitely. Yeah. And this is an example for that, because I remember before we were talking and she was like, oh, and I bought you like the best sheets ever, which kind of material you prefer? And I was like, I mean, I never nobody in my life someone asked me for that in my life, even in my family, okay? So I was so excited, like, oh, wow, amazing, you know. So then I just arrived there. Oh my God, it was crazy. Because, I mean, I'm vegan. I have a diet. It's something that I talked with the host families before, for sure. Like, hey, you have an issue with this because I'm vegan. And the host families, I mean, actually, they don't have like an issue with that.
I mean, it shouldn't be an issue, right? Like, they shouldn't care too
well,
much.
Exactly. That's the fact. We think like, okay, just buy my stuff and put it on the list of the grocery store and that's all. But with with the every single host family, the dynamic is very different, you know. So I remember with my first one, they gave me a debit card, and I just go to the grocery store and I just buy it, you know, and I have like a amount for the month, and that's all, and it was okay, you know. And I was working for that for a while, and then when I moved to New Orleans, was working at the same time, so that's good. But when I moved to there, I moved to Long Island. So Long Island was, well, you know, I was like thinking like, okay, New York again, it's okay, you know.
Yeah, people think that Long Island is New York, and it's so not.
No, it's not, but
so far from it.
It's so far. Yeah. Because when I arrived there, for sure, they was so many things that they said that it wasn't like true, because they say that like I gotta have a car, and sometimes when you live like on the suburbs, isn't it? The
suburbs, yeah.
Suburbs. Mm-hmm. When you live on the suburbs, you need a car.
Yeah,
definitely. And they say that I'm gonna have a car, so I was like, oh, okay, you know, it's okay. But when I arrived there, I wasn't allowed to have a car. So I was like, oh, that's crazy, because it was very, very, very nothing around me, like nothing. And I was just start to feel like very, wow, what's going on, you know. That's kind of crazy. But also because when I arrived, like so many things were like red flags. Like immediately I arrived, for example, nobody picked me up to the airport, said nothing. They just sent me like a taxi. And when I just was like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. I can survive. But with the host families, when you're talking with another au pairs, always they pick you up, you know, like at least to show you like, hey, you are welcome or something. But then when I arrived at the house, nobody was in the house, into the house that day. So I just feel like very weird, you know, like, I'm here. And I remember there was like a nanny who opened the door, and she was like, yeah, it's nobody here, but just left your stuff here, and maybe later you can ask them. And I was like, okay. You know,
they already had another nanny working.
Oh my God, yeah, I'm gonna go there because but then I was just so confused, and I was very hungry because I just get like a banana during the whole day, because I was like on a plane. And I was very, very hungry. And the nanny say that to me, like, yeah, you can go to the kitchen and eat something. But for sure, when I opened the fridge, I didn't find like options for me, because I'm vegan, and was something that I talked before, right, with them. And I was like, okay, I cannot get nothing. Okay, well, I just gonna wait. But I was like literally hungry. And then I remember after that, like they just got home like around 8 p.m. or something like that, and they were like, yeah, no, this is your bed. And I remember that like something was, you just can feel the energy, you know.
Yeah, and I feel like, yeah, you can feel the energy of the person immediately. And if something is off, even if you don't have like a specific pinpoint to like put it, like, yeah, we feel it.
Yeah, and also I'm very like easy person. I consider myself like easy to get in touch with someone, you know, like to talk or like everything, to be honest. But with them, I was like, I completely closed my door. I didn't want that they go into my life for a reason, you know. Because I'm very like that. I can,
because you feel energy from people, right? Yeah, and you kind of like absorb it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I just that kind of person, you know. And then I just remember that everything was just like very weird, and just started to feel very bad. And I remember that one of the kids was very tough, like the dynamic with them. And then I just because another nanny of the kids told me that the little guy has like a diagnosis, you know. So I was like, wow, why they didn't tell me before that I came here.
Yeah, I feel like it's an important detail to tell the nanny that's coming to take care of the kids.
Yeah, because the kid, not just because of me, it's because the kid needs that someone who is taking care of them. They needs what he needs, you know. So I was like, wow, that is huge for me. So I just started to feel like the communication was very, very bad, because I'm very open to communication. So I remember that it was 2 times that I say like, hey, I'm not feel well with this. I don't have a car. I don't have grocery store. you know. So I was just eating like oatmeal, like literally, and I just opened the fridge and they were like, yeah, you can find vegetables, and I was like just finding like some like spinach or something, but I was like amount like this, you know. And I was like, yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not saying that, oh my God, they are just bad persons or something. I mean, they just didn't
No, but it's lack of care,
understand.
and that's not okay. But I'm wondering, like, so you came through a program, right? You, of course, you can communicate with the family, but if the family is non-responsive, you can, like, do you have somebody from the program that you can talk to and be like, hey, I'm starving?
Yeah, it's someone, we call it LCC. That is
Okay.
like location coordinator, cultural. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure what is the name, but LCC is like the person who is between the host family and the au pair. So yeah, I didn't talk with her that moment because I prefer to say to the host family, you know, like that directly to them.
Yeah.
So I just say that like, hey, I don't feel good with this, blah blah blah. And I remember that day they were like conscious about it, like, oh yeah, I mean that she's right. And that day the host dad bring me to the grocery store to pick like some stuff for me. I was so grateful about it. Everything was. But I remember there was like very uncomfortable conversation because he was saying to me like, hey, it's because you are so shy. And I was like, yeah.
I just don't want to talk to you, dude.
I was like, yeah, for sure, I'm too shy. But I mean, you know, the perspective, I mean, they have about me was like the person that she's so shy. She's like, no, she just, and I was feeling like, I don't know. I mean, it was just weird. I mean, that time was just like uncomfortable feelings, but that's all. But in the end, they literally just take me off of the house, like one day, you know.
Oh.
And I was like, you know what happened? Because I remember they have like a very weird dynamics that I don't feel like I want to judge their dynamics with the kids because it depends about dynamics or something. But it's like kind of family who has like a lot of money, you know, and they have nannies Sunday through Sunday, like 6 a.m. through 8 p.m. So we were working like 4 nannies, you know. I mean,
That's so weird. I mean, like, what? How many kids? 2?
3.
3 kids.
But I
Why
mean,
do you
a
need,
bigger one, she was 10, and I mean, she was very independent. I mean,
why
her, she
do
was
you
really
need
cool.
4 nannies for 3 kids? I wonder. You know, like it's. Well, I guess it's on them. I don't know. I just.
Yeah, we're just dynamics. I mean, very, very, very different dynamics that I just cannot understand at all. But the fact is, they have like a schedules and everything was between the other nannies. You know, I mean, they never say to me like, hey, you have to do this. No, you learn from the nannies. So they expect to me to cook for the family, and I mean, an au pair cannot do that. An au pair has like exactly things that can do, you know, like it's taking care of the kids. You're not going there to clean the house. You're not going there
Obviously.
to cook for them,
Yeah.
you know. But host families expect that you do that, you know, and it's kind of like,
Oh hell no! Not for the money they're paying. Just like,
no, exactly. But when you came here as an au pair, sometimes you cannot defend yourself because you feel very lonely.
That's
or
why. That's
alone
why I
about
asked if you have
everything.
like a person that you can talk to, because like you go inside a stranger people's house, right? And like, it's important that you have somebody that you can call and be like, hey, this family is not treating me well, or like I want to.
Yeah, no, you have this person, the LCC that I told you. But sometimes it's just like, as an au pair, I can feel like you are not just open to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, in the end, you just start to receive all this treatment, and you just got it, and that's all. You know, you just expect that you can get your goals here, and that's all. You know, so it depends about the person. You know, I mean, right, for me, I mean, like right now, I'm very different. Like in that moment, you know, because in that moment I was talking. I mean, I was like able to talk with the host family, you know, to try to figure out things. But in the end, I think that the correct thing was more like, okay, you are not doing that. I'm gonna talk with the LCC, you know, more like I wanna put myself in a respectful way, you know, and I'm gonna take care of myself first, you know. But
Yeah.
sometimes as an au pair, you just came here and you feel like, I mean, for sure the kids are the priority, you know, and I mean, and sometimes we just lose our priorities, you know, even also our goals, you know.
Yeah, I get that, because maybe almost like feeling helpless because you don't know what to do. You came here to work, you have a specific thing to do, and there is a pressure from the family, there's a pressure from the company, you don't know anyone you can talk to. I wanted to ask you while you were talking, do you remember like a breaking point that you had, that you were just like, fuck it all, I want to go back home?
Oh my God, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot, actually a lot. I remember the first one was like literally like 2 weeks after I arrived. I think the 3 first months are the challenge months, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I remember there was one time, I mean, the baby was crying a lot. And I mean, at that moment, I feel like I'm able to take care of the baby. But sometimes I just feel like it's too much. It's not taking care of the baby, you know. It's like living without like your friends, your family, just like people who are like strangers. Also, you cannot find like, I mean, you have to start to get routines. I'm a routine person. Mm-hmm. I'm a Taurus. Maybe it's that reason. But yeah, I'm very routine person, and I need time, you know. But I need like a schedule, you know. I need routines, you know. It's part of my personality. So I remember that it was like the baby. She didn't have like a for sure like routines, because
I mean, babies don't care about your schedule, so
for sure it's a baby. But I remember there was one time the baby was crying, and I was trying to sleep her, and she didn't want the nap, and I was like, I just cannot. I mean, I was
crying with her.
I was crying with the baby because I feel like my back was was very painful. I was like, I mean, right now I feel like I don't know. I feel like was not too bad. But I feel like was like a lot of things.
No, but it's emotionally, it's even if it's physically not much, or like now when you're in a good place, you can think about it and be like, oh, yeah, that wasn't a big deal. But like, you know, when we're at this point of like breaking down and, you know, we miss home, we don't know what we're doing here. We don't have friends. We're all, anything can break you. Anything. You go into the fridge, your milk is spoiled, and you're like, oh my God, fuck my life. I'm tired.
I know. So I remember that moment. I mean, I have like a lot, you know. But I remember in Long Island, I was literally crying every single night.
Oh my God.
Literally every single night. I mean, I just finished my work, like my face, like, bye, good night. And I just go to my bedroom and just crying the whole night, you know. And I was like, what I'm doing here? What I'm doing here? I mean, I don't care. I want to come back to Colombia. I mean, at that moment, I feel like I really don't care. Nothing.
But this is why I always tell you that you inspire me, because your strength, and I know so many people are afraid to go alone to a country they've never been before, to work, to live with the strange family, you know, like no language, anything. You did all that. Then you were miserable in these points of like in you know, with the bad families, but you didn't leave. You stayed and you went through it, and it made you stronger. That's why I'm always like telling you, like I admire the strength that you have, and also like we're gonna mention a little bit of like the career change that you decided to do.
Yeah. Hold on, I think the
your headphone just twisted over there a little bit, and it should be working.
Let me try. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Because you're using studio headphones, so I don't know, like maybe the connection.
I got it now. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. But we're gonna talk about the career change that you decided to do. You know, but like you're moving forward, you're doing all these things, and if I admire people that just like decide on something, because I'm like that. You know, like you decide something and you just go and you grab it and you go for it. You don't give up, and I feel like there is a difference between giving up and letting go. And sometimes when you're in a really bad place, you know, like let's say you feel like it's not your place, it's not your country, you don't like it here, you hate everything, you want to go home, you truly want to go home, not because you're scared or depressed or whatever, but like, you know, you didn't find your home here in New York. That's okay to let go and be like, you know what, that's not for me. But when you have these breaking moments when you're just like, okay, this is just a rough moment, like I can get over it, but I feel like there's still things for me to do here, and you decide to fight through it and to go through it and to become stronger and to learn from that. I feel like this is why I invited you to the show, because I'm like, she needs to tell her story. I want you to talk about it because you're badass and you're so strong. And yeah, and I want to talk to you about the modeling thing. We're gonna do like a 5-minute break of some more music from the playlist you sent me, and then we're gonna continue because we have more stuff coming. Welcome back. So I'm gonna turn on mine. Did you turn on yours?
Yes.
Okay, so for the YouTube people, apparently Kavi's video wasn't recording this entire time. So
I know.
so you can see her face now.
I bet.
Well, no worries. Don't worry about that. Because it's a podcast, so like the video is extra. It's okay. One thing, while you were on your little break, we had a question from somebody who's watching. So Nobel was asking if there's a difference, you coming from Colombia to New York, in the food. Because a lot of the food that we have in the United States, they have in the United States, is banned in other countries. And there's a lot of, like unhealthy things and like a lot of fast food. So can you just like mention quickly and briefly the differences between the food and how was it for you?
Yeah, I think it's a complicated thing, but I just try to resume like very quick, because it's very different for me because I'm vegan since like 6 years ago or something, and vegetarian when I turned vegetarian when I was 13 years old.
Oh, wow.
So for me it's different because in Colombia they eat like a lot of traditional food is like with meat and chicken or whatever. So for me it was just like really nice to came here and find like a lot of vegan options, but like right now I just started to do more like healthy food. And here it's just so complicated about organic.
It's more expensive. It's so much cheaper to just go and buy something in McDonald's than to make yourself a salad.
Definitely. So it's not healthy. I mean, in Colombia, you can eat healthy, but here it's just complicated. I mean, you have to have money if you want to eat healthy.
Yeah, I feel that.
It's so I have my thoughts about it.
I struggle with it too, because I'm like, why is a salad more expensive than a burger? Like that doesn't make sense to me. Just So every time, because I eat healthy too. So like when I go to the supermarket, it costs me so much more to buy whole wheat stuff or like just the produce, just the tomatoes and avocados are freaking expensive. And I'm like, if I would have eaten only pasta, my grocery spending would be so much like less, if I only bought like the regular stuff.
No, I know. And also, I mean, for me, it's kind of like complicated because, it's like, exactly, it's expensive. And I just don't want, for example, living with a host family, I just don't want to feel like I get an advantage or something, So I'm very...
Well, you're not, but I understand where you're coming from because I'm the same way. I'm like, oh no, don't bother. I'm good,
something
don't worry.
like very cultural, I bet, So in Colombia, it's not... I mean, maybe for the way I grow up, the food... I mean, living in Colombia, I'm not like a person who didn't have like enough, or I mean I have enough, that's a fact, I have enough to eat good or whatever, to live good, my parents they did that great. But the fact is always I grew up with a mind, like a really mindset like, hey, the food, you don't have to get more, you have to take care of what you are like eating, not like for my body, physical body, more like because the other kids doesn't have more food than you or something like that. So I'm always thinking a lot about it, like not getting very much, You know, I don't like to throw food to the garbage. You know,
Yeah.
I cannot do that. It's like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
And I can say, I can tell, like, here the people, I mean, mostly doesn't care or didn't care or something, you know.
Because I feel like in America, it's like there's so much of everything. So there's a bit less appreciation to, you know, what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why, you know, because I do know that there's a lot of food being wasted and thrown away, and just, you know, and it's sad to see. But yeah, I feel like it's because America is known for being excessive on everything, you know, like just have everything all the time. But I feel like as long as we have our mindset of like, this is what I need to eat, this is what I need to buy, you know, I don't need more than that. And I know also you're very spiritual, so for you it's like overeating and eating all these like unhealthy foods, it's just gonna hurt your soul more than your body.
Definitely.
And talking about body, you're a model, so let's talk about that a little bit, because that also ties a little bit to like, you know, how you carry yourself and what you eat and all that. Let's talk about that.
Well, yeah, about like diet, I'm very like not like into a diet or something exactly, because I mean I take care more about my spiritual more than my physical. You know, even if I'm doing like modeling or that kind of stuff, which is important, you know, but for me it's more like I'm spiritual, and I feel like everything is just like connected, you know.
It is. I agree with you. I completely agree with you. When you eat unhealthy, you feel, you know, it's, I don't know how to explain it, because I'm the same way. Like when I eat healthy and when I take care of myself and my body and like physically, like I just mentally feel better and lighter. And
exactly, lighter. I was thinking about it, because when you are eating good, you feel good. It's that. It's not just because you're gonna look good. No, it's not that.
I feel like you're gonna look good if you feel good, right?
Definitely. Oh my God, that's a fact. You know,
it is a fact. It's very like, it's very psychological. You know, it's interesting how we're connected, the body and mind.
Definitely, because I mean, you know, something that I mean, more like going into. Oh, well, actually, it's interesting. Let's talk about my spirituality path a little bit, because it's connected with modeling.
Okay,
it's interesting.
Okay,
so like I started my journal like 2 years ago exactly, but everything was more like a research, I can say. But just like 6 months ago, I just started to go like very deeply into my spiritual path, and then I just started to connect it with the food and everything. And I just didn't eat like meat or something, so it was good. But I just started to understand better about, like, for example, like raw diets or something like that, which is kind of cool. So yeah, it depends. But then when I just started my path, I found like everything is connected with your mind, but also your heart. So I just feel great when I just did like a separation of that. So I'm finding myself all the time like saying, this is from my heart or this is from my heart, my head. And that's very interesting, because usually when it's from your head, it's not true, you know. And when it's from your heart, it's because it's true. And then when I just discovered that, it's just a lot. It's like a lot of things to talk about it, but to go into modeling, when I just find that, you know, like separate my heart from my head, I discovered that when I was a little kid, I always wanted to be a model. But I don't know. I mean, for my physical things or whatever. I mean, I think every single person has something about their physical. I don't know why. I mean, even if it's looking good, even if not, whatever. I don't know. But everyone has something. So when I was a kid, I remember there was a cousin, and he was doing, I was like 6 years old. I don't know if I told you this before, but okay.
No, you haven't.
No? Okay. So my
New
cousin...
stuff? Tell me.
My cousin, he was having like a project for his college. So he was like very older. I was just 6 years old. And I remember he was studying like communication or something, but he was having like a kind of project for his college. And he talked with that model agency from Colombia. for kids, or I literally don't know, but was just a project. And he asked me like, hey, do you want me to take a picture of you and send that to the agency because I'm working for the project with them? He was told me, but I didn't remember exactly. It was just 6. And then I just say like, yeah, sure, And I remember when I was little, I was kind of this kind of girl, like very mean with other girls. Like
you were mean?
Yeah. When I was
you were a mean girl.
But no,
I can't see you. It's so weird. You're so nice.
But no, because I was when I was very, very little, like until 5 years old.
Okay.
So I don't know. I didn't understand, because I'm really not like that. Definitely not.
Yeah, I don't feel that from you. Like you're super nice.
When I was little, was more like that. But I think it's connected with modeling, because I remember when he took picture of me. He just started to take pictures, and he just sent them to the agency, blah blah blah. And like a week after or 2, I don't remember, I asked him like, hey, what happened with the pictures, And he was like, oh no, you cannot, because you have like huge ears. And I was that broke my heart.
Oh my God, he said it to a 5-year-old.
But I mean, I know he didn't. He didn't say that in a mean way, more like just like talking to me, but he didn't. I think as an adult, he didn't feel like, oh, I'm talking with a kid,
Oh shit.
So he was more like, because I can feel it. I remember he wasn't like in a bad intention or something, See, was more like he was telling me the truth about what the agency said. So that moment, I just feel like I cannot be a model, never in my life, literally. So that I felt like, wow, that was like something that changed my mind, and I just started to remember that after I meet you. Which is so interesting.
Because the first time we met, we did a photo shoot. So
exactly.
Yeah, and I remember because you were posing, and I'm like, damn, she's a natural. Like, I don't need to tell you anything. You're just like, doing it naturally. And I had so much fun editing those photos, and I remember sending it to you. And I remember you telling me, you know what? I feel like I want to get into modeling. And the next day, you freaking started going for it. Talking to other photographers, opening your new Instagram account that I will link in my YouTube below, so you can also follow her, because she just opened it, so she needs some boosting. But yeah, and I told you that, like, how proud I am of you for like just deciding something and just like freaking going for it.
Yeah,
it's very rare. I know so many people who are like, yeah, I'll do that maybe later, and then like so many years passed by, and it's just like, yeah, it used to be a dream, but you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, boom, next day. I was like, damn, Kavi.
But you know what, because I connected with my spiritual path, because I was like, okay, I just discovered my spirituality in a really deeply way, and then I started modeling career. It's weird. It's not something that happened like that, but happened like that because I really need that. When I feel like right now with all of this about modeling, it's more like respecting my child dreams.
Yeah.
Like, okay, as a kid, nobody did that for me. So as an adult, I'm gonna do that for my kid. My kid inside of me really wanted, and I just started to feel it like everything was just going with the flow. I just meet you, and everything was just going with like a big yes.
Yeah. And we got an endorsement yesterday, the one that I sent you yesterday with the things. It's just also amazing, because I feel like for me, I know that if I decide something and then the universe throwing at me these opportunities, I'm like, I'm on the right path. Like, I feel like it's working well. And yesterday I started talking to, so this guy approached me on Instagram, and he's like, I have a company, I have a clothing brand, and I would love to send you some of my items if you want to, just have the items. And I'm like, and I immediately thought of you, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do that. But I also have a model friend that she might be interested. And he was like, yes, please, here's like, and he already shipped it. So like, we're gonna have it in, he said, 2 to 3 days. Okay. And then we have the items. We're gonna go, like, I want to say the name of the company, but I forgot. So I'm gonna tell you in a second. One moment. So unprofessional of me. I'm endorsed by a
that
brand
happen
that
all the time.
Bold Label.
Oh.
So it's called Bold Labeled. They're in Chicago, so it's originally in Chicago. They have perfumes and they have like body spray things, and now they're opening their fashion store. So that's what we're gonna receive. We're gonna receive the T-shirt and the beanie.
Amazing.
And then
so
in like
excited.
a month or so, he's gonna have a lot of other items. He's gonna ship that as well, and then we're gonna have another street photo shoot.
Oh, I love
and we're gonna yes. So I feel like that's how it goes, especially here in New York. You have like these
Exactly,
opportunities of just like moving forward with
I know.
collaborating with people, you know?
It's amazing because exactly I just start to feel, for a while I was like just go like really just in my place, like my little apartment, just doing what I'm doing, working with the kids. Because after Long Island I find a family in Brooklyn.
Yeah, now you're in Brooklyn,
And
so
now I'm
that's very
Brooklyn.
convenient for this radio.
And then I mean oh my god, they are amazing. The kids are really good. I mean, I'm so happy there. But yeah, when I just found all of these and I just discovered like my childhood stuff, I just feel like wow, just the universe is just perfect, perfect. and I was telling you, I remember you. I remember that I tell you like I don't know, like after, but not before, like 2 weeks ago or something. Like I don't know, but before of all of these that like pursue for my dreams and my goals and everything, I was thinking like, oh, I just maybe gonna get married, And I mean, and that thing wasn't never my dream.
Yeah.
And I was like, why when and the life is saying to me like, hey, no, this is not your path. This is not your path.
Also because getting married, like, it's okay, but I feel like it's not gonna complete you as a person, right?
Definitely.
Unless like, again, and I respect every dream, but if your dream is to get married, have children and take care of your family, that's completely fine. That's fine.
Yeah, no,
but,
that's amazing. Exactly. I feel, for example, it's still something that I want. It's not like I just don't want to get. No. It's more like it's when you have to do that. It's when it's perfect for you. It's when it's the time.
Yeah.
So, for example, I was saying like or thinking like people put on me like a pressure to be here and get just married because I have to be here. And I just hate that pressure. I mean, some people just think like you just came here because just not because you have dreams. No, it's because you want a guy who married to you or something. And I just don't like that pressure. I just don't like the feel like in this way. And I don't know why the people feel like or saying like advices like that. Just get married. Like,
well, it's a common path. We talked about that. It's a common path to just get married in America, just to stay here. And I feel like it's the easy way out in a way, because easy in a way. It's but like it's, first of all, I don't think that's a reason to get married.
No, definitely not.
And I feel like for me, also, I feel like if I'm staying here, I want to stay here for myself because I worked hard, because I achieved something. I don't want to depend on another guy or girl, doesn't matter. I don't want to depend on another person that, we get married and then right before we finish the process, they're like, oh, fuck off. Like, I decided not to. And then you're screwed because you put all your hopes and dreams into this person, right? And that's not you. That's not your work. That's not.
Yeah, exactly. So that's something huge. Because when I've just decided, like, hey, I just gonna take that thought because that just don't belong to me. And then I just start to go more through my heart. Like, what is my heart? What is the real deserve? Or deserve? I don't know. Is it word? No.
What you deserve?
Yeah, what do you deserve?
Yeah, what you deserve.
Yes,
that's true.
So, and then I was just, when I met you, and I remember like, pictures, modeling, because I mean, I like cameras. I have a camera, and I like take pictures or something, but I'm always feel better when someone is taking picture of me, But I was just like hiding behind the camera, because after that, when I was a kid, I remember that I just started to feel I'm not going to be a model. So I just started to be like very like, in a way, to judge that path, like, the models are just some empty,
It sucks, like when you have a dream as a kid, because I had the same thing with music, like I wanted to be a singer my entire life. But then after a while, like I started growing up and I heard from people more and more, like that's not a career. You need to choose something realistic. You need to think about your future. So you need something that makes money, and for the longest time, music just became this hobby. Like for you, it's even worse because you didn't even want to do it as a hobby because somebody insulted you so so harshly. So you're just like, okay, I guess I'm not worthy of being in front of the camera, which is a horrible thing to say to a child. Like I have the same issue with, I'm very open about like body image and things like that. And that's also something that comes from childhood because my stepdad used to always be like, oh, you need to eat less, you need to be like skinnier. Me as a child, like 12-year-old, and he's just like, you need to stop eating, you need to watch yourself. So I grew up thinking that I'm fat all the time. Now, no, it doesn't matter how good I'm gonna look. I'm always gonna be thinking like I need to be less and less and less, and I was never anorexic or anything, but it's a problem that I grew up with, that I'm also like, I'm always insecure about my body. And as children, we take that so harshly, because if somebody will come to you now and be like, yeah, you look bad, you're like, just fuck you, like who cares?
Oh yeah, definitely.
But
like right now it's like, you don't talk about my body.
Exactly. But as a child, you take that, especially from grown-ups and people who you like look up to. They say something, you take it to heart, and you're like, okay, I guess that's actually how it is.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you overcame it. I'm glad that you're back to be in front of the camera. I enjoy taking photos of you, and I know Noble is listening, and he took we did a photo shoot with him, and he enjoyed taking photos of you too.
He's a really good photographer.
He is really talented, yes. And I'm sure we're gonna work more together, and I'm sure we're gonna go back to this abandoned place, because I love abandoned places.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because I mean, right now, like the challenge is like the characteristics, or the characteristics you have to have as a model. For example, I have tattoos, because I didn't think like that is my body going to be my job in the future. So I just have like a lot of tattoos. So for sure, when I'm doing like more research about agencies or something, it's an issue. So I like right now, I like it's another challenge. I mean, at least I got the fears decided.
Yeah. But I feel like now it's better because we talked about the differences of being a model in Colombia versus being a model in America.
Oh,
and I feel like America is a little bit more progressed, and
definitely
in that sense, I feel like nowadays more and more like we kind of stepping away from this like perfect model shaped body, like you have to be skinny and tall and blonde,
and this is not real. I mean, this is not a real,
it's not a realistic image, right?
It's not realistic, and also it's not just the beautiful like image that represents us as a human beings. I mean, the beautiful is another thing. The beautiful for me is like the light you can show to the true or whatever. So exactly, it's like right now it's kind of like, sometimes I'm finding myself like thinking like, I have to do, I'm not sure, because I mean I'm 5'3", but I found the last day this concept petite model.
And
I was like, oh yes, I'm gonna be a petite model.
Obviously, because the way I think about it is like, when you are, I hope they hear me well, I don't know, because when you're a model, you're modeling for something, right? You're either modeling for a product or for a clothing brand or whatever this is, right? And now a brand started incorporating more models that are not like, that are maybe like the body, all the body shapes. Like they don't have to be like super skinny, because brands want to show the realistic, especially for women, because like we're so affected by it, and we see like this model with a bathing suit, and we're like, I can't pull this off, so I'm not gonna buy this bathing suit because I'm not gonna look like that, right? So a lot of brands are now they're trying to incorporate more like just all the body shapes and colors and cultures and
differences,
styles of people, just to show that like our brand talks to everyone, and you're not the only petite person on this planet, Kavi. So like that's why I'm thinking like there's so many models, and not models, there's so many people and girls and boys, and that they're small, they're like shorter, and they have tattoos and they have darker hair, and like you don't have to be, again, tall and blonde and like barely eat to be a model. That's not the case anymore.
Exactly. So because that it was the fact when about my ears, that it was the issue. you know. So I was thinking like, oh, I cannot be the model because my ears, you know. But then I just, oh no, I cannot be model because my height. Oh no, I cannot be the model because my tattoos. Oh, you know, like a lot of things. But it's not true, you know. It's your mind. Again, it's your mind. What is your heart saying? You know. So I'm thinking about it, and it's important, you know, like not just like represent people from my country, because that's at the same time the real people, because for sure models from Colombia, oh my god, you know, beautiful. But this is not. I mean, it's the 2% of all my country about beautiful things. That is not true. Beautiful is another thing. You know?
I think beautiful is it's very subjective.
Oh yeah.
Every person sees beautiful differently, and of course there are like the standards, you know, like we as people, like we perceive, like if your symmetry in the face is a certain way, then like you consider beautiful, and you know there's certain like blue eyes, or you know the things like that we universally consider as beautiful. But beauty is such a subjective thing, you know. It's like we're not all attracted to the same type of person, right? Thank God, right? Otherwise it would be very. But I always talk to my friends about it, because like I'm attracted to a certain type of man,
we
right?
Talk about it, and
about
it's like, wow, I can't. No,
exactly.
no,
So I'm just like, I don't have like, my taste in men is very different from like my other friends' taste in men, and I'm like, thank God we're not like in the same sphere of like, you know, competing for this.
I know.
So yeah, so that comes to prove that it's really subjective, you know. Not even if you're the most gorgeous person in the world, not every guy will be attracted to you, you know, because every guy has like, some guys like heavier women, some guys like skinnier women, some cares about like, I don't know, blonde hair, some it's so different, and I feel like we all have our place in the world.
Yeah,
you know?
You know what? I remember that I was talking with a friend a while ago, and she said something that just, you know, that put on in my heart like an amazing way, because she said like, the beauty is what affects you, you know. And I was thinking about it, you know.
What does it mean?
Like an affection, you know, more like what is getting to you in an affected way, you know. So this is beautiful for me because I feel this.
Yeah,
you know?
I get that.
So that's beautiful thing, because it's connected about, you know, like every single people has like different taste, but it's more like what do you see, what do you feel?
Yeah, the connection.
And that's connection, you know.
Yeah, because I feel like everyone knows like sometimes you would see like a really hot guy, you know, and he's like super hot, and you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to talk to him. But then you start talking to him and he's a jerk or an idiot, or you're just like, you know, and it doesn't matter how hot he is, you're just like, yeah, bye. Like I'm not doing that, you know. So like, I completely understand, because it needs to be like, there needs to be some other connection besides beauty, obviously.
Definitely. And also I was thinking about modeling, you know, needs to be in that way, you know. What are you seeing, you know, or looking at through the picture, through the video, or through whatever, or through the show, what you are feeling about that, you know. I'm seeing this more as an artist, because I mean, I write poetry, I love art. It's my you know,
that's why we're friends.
my love language is art. so yeah, for me it has to be something related to art, you know. Not just because it's beautiful or that, because I mean, I'm looking for commercial career, commercial model, as a commercial model, but at the same time commercial has to be in that way too, you know.
I guess like if you find a brand that you believe in, something that promotes a good cause, you know, things like that, and I feel like projects like that are the closest to our heart and usually work the best way, because you actually believe in it, right? Because like you will never model for a brand that promotes like fur, right? Like fur clothing, like as a vegan especially, it's just like that's not gonna happen, right? So yeah, I feel like it definitely needs to promote something that you believe in. And to me, for me personally, I read people through their eyes a lot. And if I see a photo of a person, I can tell like if there's good in their eyes, you know, and if there's like if they're mean or if they're empty inside.
Even
I can
like
see
their past, you know, like you can see like, oh wow, this person done with so many things. You know, or something like that.
I feel like because we're very spiritual, we kind of get that. We have this strong intuition about people, and people always use, like, I remember I had a roommate, and I told him that, like, I can read a person immediately. Like, after a minute of conversation, even before the conversation, I can tell if we can be a good friends or not, if I can vibe with this person. And I remember that the response I got was like, oh, you're judging too quickly. Like, and I'm like, I'm not judging too quickly. I just know. And I usually don't wrong. Like if I see a person, I'm like, yeah, we can't vibe. Like, it's not going to happen. We don't. Is it time for you?
Yeah.
It's time. Kavi needs to go.
I know, I need to go, but it was like so nice to be here, and feels very like great.
Thanks for being here. I'm sure you're gonna come back.
Oh my God,
we can talk about other things as well.
I know, so many things.
Yeah, but work, commitment, you know, children to take care of. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. We're going to go take a short break of like 5 minutes, and then I'm going to come back to you with some more updates and the performance and national days and all that. So stay tuned and enjoy the music. Okay, we're back. We're back because we don't have much time, and I do want to do some more stuff before we continue, because, you know, we have a regular... wait a second. There we go. Now we're back live. There's so many buttons that I'm always like, what do I press? Anyway, yeah, we have some more stuff that I prepared for you guys, and I need to finish very soon. That was a really fun conversation. I really hope you enjoyed it. Kavi is a dear friend of mine. We actually met not long ago, but if you were listening, you know how I say that I can pretty much tell if I will vibe with a person. And every time I go against that intuition and tell myself, you know, let me give this person a chance because they technically didn't do anything wrong, you know, and I still don't have my proof. I end up being wrong, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I needed to cut this before. Although we're not friends for a long time, I feel like we have a really good connection, me and her. And I'm so happy that she agreed to be here today and tell her story because I mean it. She's inspiring me, the way that she does things and the way, you know, like everything. But anyway, yes, let's continue a little bit. Okay, so if you're coming new to New York, just a little advice like before, and you want to have a chance to study English, or you want to like get involved with like more people, or, you know, just do it that way, because, you know, New York can get lonely, especially if you come completely alone. Like, you don't have to. This is a city that you can choose to be alone, but you really, really don't have to. So, and there are 3 things that I prepared for you. First of all, there are English schools that you can attend to and, first of all, meet people and learn English, which is amazing. Like, it's an amazing thing. But I also prepared for you, if you want to check it out, there are, this week, actually, if you want to, you know, improve your English, there are 3 meetups happening. So the first one is language exchange in Brooklyn. You can go to meetup.com and just write language, and you'll find there is a language exchange in Brooklyn. It's happening tonight at 7 p.m. There is another one happening on Sunday at 4 p.m. It's called Language Exchange Sunday. And there is another one. There's so many. And if you can't attend, there is an online one. There are a lot of online ones that are happening too, that you can just connect to Zoom and talk to people. There are multiple languages there. So there is I think there is Spanish, English, I saw German, French. There are many of those. So even if you want to improve a different language, it doesn't have to be English. If you're good in English, you know, some of us are okay with English, but want to work on a different language, that's also a possibility. Go to meetup.com. I'm promoting this website all the time. I really should get paid for it. Okay. So, the fun part. So The fun part of today is, of course, me mentioning the national days. So today is April 27, and the most important thing that happens today, it's my grandfather's birthday. So congratulations, Grandpa. I will call you very, very soon and wish you happy birthday. But yes, it's my grandpa's birthday. So that's the first day I want to mention because it's super freaking important. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, okay. So... did I say April before that? It's okay. March 27th. Today it's not April. I don't know if I mentioned it. Anyway, so March 27 is a National Joe Day. So if your name is Joe, congratulations. March 27, it's your National Day. I wonder if they have one for Victoria. I need to check that. What else? Okay, so we have National Medical Science Liaison Awareness and Appreciation Day. So that's pretty cool. Medical science, you know, it was important, especially in the last few years. What else? International Whiskey Day. So that's not even national, that's international. Today is International Whiskey Day. So if you're going to go and celebrate now, you got a good reason. You're just celebrating Whiskey Day, you know. You're not just getting drunk in a bar. So that's a good thing right there. We have World Theater Day. I'm a theater major. I love acting. So congratulations to all the theater folks because today is the World Theater Day. What else we have? National Spanish Paella Day. Okay, so I don't know if you like paella, but that's a National Paella Day. So you can enjoy your paella with your whiskey and feel like you're celebrating the day. We have 3 more. It's an American Red Cross Giving Day. The other one is, we always have that. We always get to this point. But today is a National Viagra Day. So, you know, be appreciative of, it's getting us back to National Medicine Science Liaison Day. So thank you, science, for keeping us moving, you know. And March 27 is also a National Acoustic Soul Day, which brings me to pam 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 drum roll. I never did this before, but I'm gonna perform live today. I'm gonna sing you a song that I've been singing for a good 15 years, I think, and I haven't sang this song for years. Up until yesterday when I decided that I want to perform it to you guys. This song is called Falling by Alicia Keys. To tell you the truth, I was freaking nervous. I never did a radio performance before. It's something that is new to me. So I'm a little nervous, especially because I don't know why I wanted to perform this song a long time ago, but I never had a chance to actually practice because work has been crazy lately and I've been doing so much. But yesterday I turned the song on and I was like, I really want to sing it. I really want to, and you know, to appreciate the National Acoustic Soul Day because Alicia Keys is one of my favorite artists of all times. I think she has such an amazing voice, such a magical voice, and I've been singing Falling for so many years now so that I feel like I'm comfortable enough to perform it. So let's try. Oh my God. You know what? This is my radio show and I can fuck up as much as I want to. So let's try. This is nerve-wracking. Well, let's do that. I'm going to do it with a playback, you know, because obviously I can play the song with the piano, but I don't have a piano here. So I'm just going to do the piano version of the karaoke on YouTube. Now that was better. I hope you heard it because, oof. I started the first time and I was like, I'm off key. That doesn't sound right, you know? And this is the difference between performing and doing your own radio show. Like, I can fuck up or reverse it and start over again. Nailed it. I hope so. Anyway, we're gonna see. So that was really fun. The National Days mention was really fun. Let's see. I think I pretty much covered everything, and now it's already 10 minutes to 2, and I kind of need to finish. But because it's the National Acoustic Soul Day, I want to play you a song that I like a lot. And Novel, if you're listening, this is probably, like you said, it's your favorite, one of your favorite artists. So he has, I posted on my Instagram a song that's called Lose Control by Teddy Swims, and it's a song that I really like. Like this is a song that I listened to the first time like a week ago, and I found the piano version of it, so I want to play it, and I'm gonna play a little bit of the acoustic soul to respect the National Soul Day. But you guys, it was really, really fun today. I'm going to see you in 2 weeks. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to see the full episode, the full show, it's going to be on my YouTube channel and maybe a little bit on my Instagram. If you're not following my Instagram, it's Simply Vika. My YouTube as well. Just type it. It's right there. But yeah, I'm going to come back in 2 weeks, hopefully with a fun topic and a fun guest, and it's gonna be fun, and that's it.